Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome to Let's Review Manga. Today we are looking at a manga I've never heard of, but it looked interesting. The Testament of Sister New Devil, Volume 1. Okay, looking at this cover, I knew it was going to be interesting. The back says that Bizarre Toho's father gets remarried and he gets two little sisters, Mio and Maria. So, Mio is the heir to the Demon Lord, while Maria is Mio's succubus attendant. They are both being hunted, so Tojo, I think that's how you pronounce it, Tojo, decides to protect his new sisters. Wow, what a great story. So, let's check it out. Okay, the first pact is called How to Insult Your Little Sister. That made me immediately raise an eyebrow. The story starts off with the main character, Bizarra, being woken up by his little stepsister, Mio. And since this is a manga, of course, they both trip out of the bed, with Mio then calling Bizarra a pervert. Okay, after Monster Musume, this scene is really tame. In the kitchen, we get to meet Bizarra's other little stepsister, Maria, who is more sweet and bubbly than Mio. We then jump to a week ago of how Bizarra met his stepsisters. So apparently Bizarra accidentally walked in on Mio while she was just about to go to the restroom. Charming. Good thing she punches him for it, and then they figure out that they're going to be step-siblings. Their first meeting of father, son, and the stepsisters goes very smoothly. Back at the present, Mio and Bizarra head into town to do some grocery shopping. They head out and Mio gets bullied by some thugs. Bizarra saves her and they ride off on their bike. Bizarra then shows her a great view of the city and says that he will always help her out since they are now family. After they get back home, the father needs to leave on a business trip, which leaves Bizarra in charge of the house. But it seems his adorable stepsisters have a dark secret. I say this because in the next scene, Bizarra gets pushed up against the wall without his stepsisters moving. Yeah. Maria then reveals that she is a succubus and Mio is a demon lord. She also reveals that she can manipulate dreams, and that the girl Bizarra's father was going to marry never existed. So, the first pact ends with Maria erasing Bizarra's memories of Mio and Maria. Certainly an interesting start. As I always say, it's sometimes best to let characters be characters. That is what this start did. It introduces us to the characters, and not too fast either. We see their interactions, and not their true colors until the end. But I know this is only the beginning. So the memory wipe didn't seem to work, and now Bizarra has super speed. Not only that, but he also has armor on his right hand along with a sword. Maria did mention something about heroes that hunted demons, and apparently Bizarra is one of them. He leaves the two alive, but doesn't like that the two tried to deceive him. And he tells them to hit the road. Also, apparently Bizarra already knew of this ability somehow. The two sisters are then met with three demons on a hill, and then we cut to a phone call with Bizarra and his dad. Here we learn that Mio's dad, the former demon lord, was the one who calmed the war between heroes and demons. The Peacemaker, as he was then called, protected his daughter from other demons by sending her to the human world. But about a year prior to the story, the Peacemaker died, leaving Mio with inheriting his powers. And they haven't fully awakened yet. I just want to say right now that this plot is getting better and better. There is a reason for them to run. There is a reason for them to want a home, and a reason they need protection, and a reason Bizarra's dad took them in. This is really interesting so far. Bizarra then runs out of the house after learning that Mio could die on her own, and we get back with Mio and Maria's fight. They fight a little with Mio getting paralyzed and thrown off a cliff, but Bizarra arrives in the nick of time to save them both. He invites them back home as a sinister someone watches them. This ends Pact 2. I have to say that this is very interesting. If you think about it, there's a reason for most everything in the manga so far. But then I looked at the next page for Pact 3 and looks like the fan service is about to start. So Bizarra grabs Mio's boobs and flashback time! So the three return home from the fight, where Maria and Bizarra talk about the situation they are in. Bizarra says he will protect Mio, much to Maria's delight, since she was the only one protecting Mio up until that point. Mio and Bizarra then talk about the situation, and both apologize for their actions. Maria then comes in and says the two should know their whereabouts at all times. She says that Mio and Bizarra should make a master-servant pact. They both agree, but the spell messes up a bit, and before you know it, Mio is inflicted with a curse that she gets inflicted with an aphrodisiac. And in order to reverse the curse, Bizarra has to take advantage of Mio. To clear things up, the master-servant pact got reversed. So now, Bizarra has to touch, rub, and lick all of Mio's embarrassing spots as told by Maria in order to grant her release. It wasn't working until Bizarra grabs her boobs, and Maria tells Mio to submit to her new master. After she finally submits to Bizarra, the other two clean up that mess. Mio then goes to punish Maria for messing up, and that ends Pact 3. Okay, this pact was really bad. I see they tried to make it funny, but it came off as awkward. Let's hope Part 4 will be better. So, it starts with Mio and Bizarra going to school since Bizarra transferred and he actually got put into Mio's class. Of course, Bizarra runs into his childhood friend, Nonoka Yuki. After school, Bizarra and Yuki go to a cafe to talk about Mio. Both Mio and Maria eavesdrop on the conversation and hear that Bizarra refuses to stay away from Mio, even though Yuki asked him to. It also seems that Bizarra was thrown out of quote-unquote the village 5 years ago and is a blank slate. But why is that? Mio then runs out of the cafe in tears. She never knew that Bizarra had such strong feelings for her. Bizarra then returns to the house and explains what happened to Mio and Maria. So, in order to strengthen their bond, Maria says they should all take a bath together, which they do. That ends Pact 4. Again, this manga is really good at letting characters be characters. Now, to the final pact in the manga, Pact 5. So, this begins with Mio washing Bizarra's back and other fan service stuff made possible because of Maria. And the last frame of the bath was a dream. Only the last frame. So Bizarra wakes up in bed and asks Maria for help because of something Yuki said. There is also a ruse in the underworld supposedly about Mio, but nothing important. That I know of. And that was The Testament of Sister New Devil, Volume 1. It was fantastic, one of the best manga I've read. Hopefully the second volume will be just as good, if not better. Next up, we will be looking at Kill la Kill Volume 1. This has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time.